Dracula movie.
Oh
The
wow.
the first the first official Dracula movie was Bela Lugosi, who I think is was the best Dracula. Um, he to me was like my favorite Dracula. But then after the first Dracula, they made a bunch of sequels, and they got Lon Chaney Jr. to play Dracula in the second one called Son of Dracula.
Yeah.
Now, Lon Chaney Jr. played the Wolfman. I love him as the Wolfman. Not the right guy to play Dracula. Because in Son of Dracula, although not a bad movie, he is not a good Dracula. Because he's this hefty Midwestern guy. He's got like a pencil thin mustache. He's got like this Midwestern American accent that comes out. So, and he's kind of chunky. So it's like, here's the thing about Son of Dracula. So in that movie, they call him Alu. He calls himself Alucard, which, if you look in the mirror, is Dracula spelled backwards.
Oh.
So that's the origin of that whole thing. Because I know in Castlevania, there's a character called Alucard, which is Dracula spelled backwards. So I'm going to assume they got that from Son of Dracula. And lately, I've been watching really bad movies. I've been collecting terrible B movies because now I like to watch schlock now. Like it's almost like I'm a glutton for punishment, but some of them I enjoy. Like I'll give you some of the ones that I've in my collection. I have Billy the Kid versus Dracula.
Okay.
That movie is real. That is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It was shot in 8 days,
Jesus.
and the guy who played Dracula in that was actually John Carradine. If you know who that is, Carradine was a really good actor, and he actually did. He was the third guy to play Dracula in the Universal era. Not terrible, but not great. But he made a living basically in terrible Dracula movies, and this is
Oh.
the last time he played Dracula. But here's the weird thing. First of all, he was drunk throughout the entire 8 days of filming. You can tell clearly it was a paycheck for him.
Yeah.
Um, at no point in this movie do they refer to him as Dracula,
Oh
which
wow.
is quite quite amusing. But it has the greatest death of Dracula I've ever seen in a movie. So he 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 kidnaps Dracula kidnaps the Billy the Kid's wife or his girlfriend, and mind you, Billy the Kid is played by a 40-year-old man in this.
Oh.
Um, and by the way, he's a reformed Billy the Kid. It's
Oh.
like if they it's like if they cast Shirley Temple to play Calamity Jane. It just doesn't work. Um,
Yeah.
so Dracula kidnaps his girlfriend. She's under his influence. She's under his spell. He takes her to his lair. The sheriff shows up and starts shooting at Dracula, but because he's a vampire, and this is in all the movies, if you shoot at Dracula, it just goes right through him.
Right.
He's immune to bullets, and he says, "Your bullets cannot harm me." So sheriff runs out of bullets. So Billy the Kid shows up, grabs the empty gun out of the sheriff's hand and throws it at Dracula's face, and that hits him, knocks him on his ass. They stake him. It is like I'm sitting there watching this. I'm like, this is the best movie ever. What the
Oh my
hell?
god.
So there's that one. Um, there's a movie called with Vincent Price called The Tingler. That one, that one is just. I mean, talk about stupid. Like, okay, so that one is Vincent Price plays like a mad scientist, right? He's a
Right.
doctor, and he has a theory that if you're scared enough and you don't scream, there's something in all of us called the tingler that can kill you if you don't scream if you're scared enough, right? And so there's a subplot, or there's a plot point where he finds this woman who's deaf and mute, so she can't scream.
Yeah.
And so what he does is he scares the living daylights out of her. She dies, and then you don't see it, but they like implies that they cut open her spine to find what this tingler is, and it's this crappy rubber centipede. Like you can see the string pulling it, but there's a great hilarious scene in this movie where at one point the Tingler gets loose in a movie theater, right?
Yeah.
And so Vincent Price's character shuts the lights off, and then you're watching the movie, and the screen just a black screen, and you just hear Vincent Price's voice. The Tingler is loose in the theater. Run! Scream for your lives! Scream! And it pauses, and then you just hear him go, and now we return you to our picture.
Oh my God.
I did research. Apparently, this was like he's talking to your actual audience and the audience in the movie. And what they did back then was when the movie was in the theater, they put buzzers in the seats. So when that
Oh,
scene happened, they would buzz seats and scare people. Like that's pretty cool.
that is
I'll
cool.
tell you, like so those two are like movies where it's like you could laugh at it. There's another movie that I watched that's just terrible. It's called The Ginger Dead Man. You heard of this?
No.
Okay. So yeah, let me enlighten you. Don't ever watch this movie. It is one of the biggest pieces of crap I've ever seen in my life.
It
So it's
sounds like it.
okay. So it's Gary Busey as
Right.
a evil gingerbread man.
Oh my.
Now you read that, you're like, okay, that could be funny, right? Bro, Gary Busey has only 3 minutes of screen time in this. There's not enough of him in it. So like for the first 2 minutes, you see Gary Busey as a human, so that doesn't even count.
Yeah.
And the plot of the movie is Gary Busey's a homicidal maniac. He breaks into like a bakery, kills everybody in the bakery but the daughter. Years later, he gets captured, he gets executed, he gets cremated, and his mother apparently mixed his ashes in with the gingerbread mix and sent it to the daughter. Wait. So okay, that's stupid. So for some reason she gets this package and she makes this gingerbread cookie anyway. And here's the stupidest part about that. Somehow she cuts herself and her blood gets into it, and that's what reanimates him after he gets baked. But like, so if she didn't cut herself, it wouldn't work. So so the mother of the killer had to do that and then had to hope that she cut herself and get blood in the and then the ginger dead man is like 90% absent from this movie. He's only in a few scenes and it is just trash. But then I did research. Apparently there's like four other ginger dead man movies that
Oh my
I
gosh.
wait. So there's Ginger Dead Man 2 Passion of the Crust. That one I haven't seen. By all accounts, it's terrible. The one I could find was Ginger Dead Man 3 Saturday Night Cleaver.
Oh.
And I watched that one. I didn't think anything could be worse than the first one. So the plot of this movie is oh my God. So Saturday Night Cleaver, the Ginger Dead Man goes back in time somehow. Okay, to the 70s, and he wants to kill a roller derby, right? That's where the movie takes place, in a roller derby, right? But the
Right.
ending of this bleeping movie, holy crap. So at the very end, he kills everyone. And then these time traveling kids, and they're just called time traveling kids. It's like a little girl and a little boy zap into where the ginger dead man is, capture him. They never show how he's captured. He's just like Hannibal Lecter tied to a friggin' stretcher or whatever, a little cookie, little gingerbread man. And they go, well, we have friends that'll end your evil once and for all. Okay. So you'll never guess in a million years who their friends are that they've gotten from the past. Ready? And again, they refer to them as friends.
Right.
First friend, Adolf Hitler. Second
Oh.
friend, Charles Manson. Third friend, Jeffrey Dahmer. Fourth friend, Lizzie Borden.
Oh no.
You know it's bad when Lizzie Borden is the least evil of the four. Like, and then they save the day, and I'm just like, I'm sitting there. I'm like, who greenlit this?
Oh my
I
god.
mean, But it's amazing how many shit. Sorry, can I curse?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. How many shitty movies there are? Like, my friend saw one. Because my friend Frank, we talk about this crap all the time. He saw one called Crackoon, which was I've never seen it, but apparently it's about a killer raccoon
On crack.
on crack. But my friend, he saw it, and this is what he told me. He said it is so bad because in the beginning of the movie, it's like a puppet, like a practical puppet, and he says, I guess the puppet got destroyed halfway through the filming because in the second half of the movie, it's this CGI, but really bad CGI raccoon.
Oh my
It's like, yeah, like okay, you know.
god.
But I could go on. I just, you know, but I get inspiration with my own work from this crap. Like that's why I watch this just crap because I'm like, oh, I can make fun of this in my crazy world. So yeah, and for those of you who don't know, my Transfatalvania series is heavily based on the Universal Monsters, Transylvania classic, Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, what have you, with like a militant twist. I wouldn't say political. My stuff really isn't political anymore. Like years ago it used to be, but now it's just stupid. The most political thing about it is my character is a dictator, but he's like his own thing. He's not like any particular government. It's just he's just evil. And there's a joke that like he has a system of government, he just doesn't tell anyone what it is, like intentionally. Like he's like, yeah, no, my system of government works. It's the perfect system of government, but I just don't tell anyone how it works because there's only one thing better than having a perfect system of government is preventing other people from benefiting from it. So like he's that kind of a character. Yeah, it's all puppets, which is great. So and I build them. I've gotten better at building them actually. I started 3D printing parts for them, which actually, if you're a maker of any kind, 3D printing is where it's at. I've really been utilizing that. It's 3D printing. It's weird. You can get a quality 3D printer at really affordable prices now. They're actually affordable
Oh, that's good.
considering.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
They
are.
used to be quite expensive, didn't they?
They used to be, but now it's like you can get a really good printer for like $200,
That's
which
good.
isn't bad
Wow.
considering. Um, and nowadays they print lightning fast. Like I remember my first 3D printer, it took like 2 days to print like one little thing. Now I have one. It's small. It's not as big as my other one, but I can print like a big thing in like 3 hours, which
Oh
is
wow.
like crazy. So, that like my main character Grunt, he's a puppet, and his head is the inside of his head is a 3D printed skull.
Oh
So I could
cool.
put mechanical parts in his head and it won't collapse like because I used to make his head out of like a soft foam, but I have a mechanism in his head where his eyes can roll back and you see like bloodshot veins. It's really cool. But to do that I had to have like a hard plastic head. So I designed a head in 3D, and so now he's got like, a solid head. And the benefit of that is if something breaks, I can just print another head,
True.
glue
Yeah.
the fleece, the fabric on it, and it's an identical head. So it's yeah, it's a process. So yeah, and I just been continuing. I've got a lot of things planned. Um, so hopefully they come to fruition. Um, Trying to think of any other thing in particular I'm working on. Uh, Not much. Oh, your camera went off
Oh,
again.
gone again.
Ah, you're back. You're back. Um, yeah, no, nothing really in particular I'm working on. Just like whenever I get an idea and I have like time, that's when I shoot a video.
Yeah.
Um, So there'll be hiatuses where I don't upload a video for a while. That's not because I've given up. It's just I can't think of an idea. But
Yeah,
when I
true.
think of an idea, I put I put a lot of effort into it. So it's quality over quantity.
Yeah, well, that's
Um,
what you want though. You want to be able to just post when it feels right. My camera just keeps going off. Cool. Uh,
um,
but yeah, you want to be
you're
posting
right.
when
Yeah,
it makes when it's something you want to do rather than forcing it. Otherwise, it just doesn't become
yeah,
enjoyable.
yeah. It's weird. It's like I looked. I have about 6,000 subscribers, which I couldn't believe. I'm like, wait, I have 6,000 subscribers, which
Wow.
compared to other big YouTubers, isn't like a lot, but it's like it's a lot for me. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah,
six
absolutely.
thousand people have subscribed to this. You're like, oh, I guess you like this crap then. It's like, I guess I'll keep doing it. It's and it's like I think it's because the characters are so unique.
Yeah.
Like even though they're based on other characters, I think I've done a good job at like making them unique enough where it's like, oh, I haven't seen something like this before. This
Mm.
is new, you know? Or even if it's not new, it's a twist on something
Yeah.
that's old. I'll give you an example. So, um, this is an early character and he's still around. So it's a King Seamus McBoozy, and he is a leprechaun werewolf. And yeah, and so
Yeah.
that idea spawns. I made him in high school, and basically the idea was, okay, Twilight came out. Werewolves are lame. How do I make werewolves cool again? Make them Irish and make them
A left.
angry and drunk and a leprechaun. There, he's cool again. And like Seamus is like, it's weird. He changed a little bit because originally he was like a giant werewolf. Um, and he was like really tough and powerful, and he was huge, right? He was a big hulking werewolf. He just wore leprechaun clothes and he spoke in an Irish accent. But lately I had this idea where no, he's like a normal sized guy who turns into a little leprechaun werewolf in a full moon. So
Well,
like
yeah.
it's like the opposite. Like and he's still tough. Like he can still beat your ass, but I made him he's a puppet, so I'm like, oh, what if he's small like a leprechaun, but he's a werewolf, and he's got all the strength of a werewolf, but all the powers of a leprechaun. So like, yeah, and so yeah, King Seamus is one of the Seamus, King of Beria. Beria, get it? He
Yeah.
drinks beer, so yeah. Yeah.
I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah, King Seamus is a good one. And then the other one, I came up with another country that borders Transylvania. So Transylvania is located between Transylvania and Transylvegan, which I
Oh,
thought was a
yeah.
clever pun. So like you have the trans fats, which are unhealthy, fatty, meaty foods, versus the Transylvegans, who are hippies. So uh, well, I don't know if they're gonna be hippies. I also had this idea where they could be like the Jolly Green Giants. They're vegetable people,
Yeah,
or
true.
like
Yeah.
or like Smurf kind of characters, like the Smurfs, but they're like mixed between the Jolly Green Giant and Smurfs. So like Grunt like constantly attacking that country, but like you know,
That's amazing. Yeah, your ideas are so cool, and like you said, with having 6,000 people on YouTube, people
yeah.
are intrigued by your ideas. So
I
they're
mean,
working, obviously.
yeah, I guess so. I mean, look, I've been I'm trying.
That's
I'm
all you
glad
can do. So
that's all you can do. And other than that, things are pretty good. They remade the Muppet Show. I
yes,
watched that. That was very good. I like that. I think they finally, hopefully, got it.
came out
Like
yesterday.
they it did, yeah.
Yeah,
I have to watch it because I love the Muppets and like they finally did the Muppets right. I actually really enjoyed that.
is
Um,
Kermit's voice good? Because I saw it in the trailer and it was very different.
Here's the thing, and again, this goes back to Johnny Depp not being a good Wonka, but he's a good actor. So Matt Vogel voices Kermit now.
Yeah, he took over
Not a
from
good
Steve.
not a good Kermit voice. And I like Matt Vogel. I really do. It didn't